Hey guys, okay. Apparently, my computer stopped in the middle of me deciding what color I was going to do her hair. I guess I needed to delete a lot of because the videos I make, I don't delete them off of my webcam software thing because I have to convert them to get on YouTube. So it's saved on my YouTube, not only on my YouTube, but also on here. And I guess I've been doing this for 3, 4 years and live shows and recordings. And I guess it hit its fill. All of a sudden it cut off. So anyway, this is part 2 of that. What we were just doing. And I was deciding on doing her hair yellow. And what I was explaining was this is System 3 Original Processed Yellow and by Daler-Rowney. I know that Walmart sells Daler-Rowney. I don't know if they sell the paints. They very well might. I ordered these from offline. They were on sale from either Dick Blick or something like that. You can put System 3 Original in on Amazon and it'll come up the cheapest of where you can get it. However, these are a bit expensive. So I would just advise you to get a folk art yellow that you like, or do whatever color that you have at home that you would want for her hair. I think I'm doing yellow, and if yellow doesn't work out for me, I can always go over it with a darker color. Now, I'm not going to gesso this. I was thinking about it, and then I decided against it. Not for any particular reason, just because I just don't feel like it. So I'm just going to take my brush into my yellow. And let's see how we can get down here. It was so funny. I'm like talking and talking. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not working anymore. Because I'm a dork like that. I just get like into what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with her hair. And I'm not going to worry about the lines, like if I go over the lines too much, because I'm going to be cutting her out. Now, if you want to cut her out first, be my guest. It's your way you do things, your system, whatever. When I go over these points where I'm going to cut out, I do go over them outside the lines a bit because I'm going to cut them to get the point going. And like I said, folk art paint or ceramic coat or store brand, whatever paint, yellow paint or whatever color that you want to do her hair you have, use it. You don't have to use what I'm using. These are things that I had bought they were on sale at some point. And at the time I was able to buy it. Boy, I squirted a lot out there. But I'm going to put a couple coats on because you can still see my graphite lines underneath, which I'm not too concerned with because I'm going to put little highlights in her hair. So I'll use those to do my highlights, like to make it look like it's a little bit more textured. And I'll just put this on and just give it a second to dry. And then go over it one more time. So she's nice and bright. But I think the yellow is going to look good against the background with the green and stick out. We'll see. Like I said, I always like to start a little lighter and then decide where to go from there. Like if I don't like it once it's on, I can always go over with another color. So that's what I'm going to do there. And watch I don't stick my notebook in there. And you don't have to work on your notebook. You can pull your paper out. You can use a piece of printer paper, watercolor paper, a back of a piece of scrapbook paper, whatever you have will work. Watercolors if you want to use your watercolors, markers if you want to use your markers. It doesn't matter. It's all going to turn out beautiful, so not a big deal. Again, I'm going to do her outfit here red with the red sparkles. That'll be last. So now I think I'm going to get a skin color. And I'm just going to use Light Portrait by Folk Art. Light Flesh, sorry. And I'm going to get a smaller brush. No, I don't really need it. Let me knock all the stuff off. I don't need a smaller brush. I shake it real good, and then I open it. And then I just take paint from the lid because I'm not see how I squirted out so much there? Now I'll use it for another coat on her hair, but I'll still have extra left over. And you can't get it back into these tubes that I used. So I do generally like to just, you know, shake or squirt this and then open it and use it from the lid. But because I'm going to do 2 coats, I just squirted it out. But like otherwise, this is what I do. I just dip my brush in, and then I'm going to go over her eyes and her face. Remember, I didn't gesso, but that doesn't mean you don't have to. I'm just not going to be too worried about it. And going to give her a nice coat of flesh. And I can still underneath, and I'll show you when I'm done, see her face. And you can go over the lines a little bit because we're going to cut her out, you know, just to make sure that you get like all her chin and all, but you'll cut her out on your line so it doesn't matter. Again, markers, watercolor pencils, watercolor, you know, whatever you got. And then I'll do her neck here. She has a little bit of the neck. You might even want to use a smaller brush. Doesn't matter. Like I said, if you go outside the lines, we're going to cut her. Cut her out. Part of her neck's being covered by her hair. And then her little bit of hand down here that's showing. And then her legs. It's okay if you go up in the dress area a little bit because like I said, we're going to do, I hate when that like little dry skin from the paint gets on there. Get off there. I'll just tap my brush in there another second and get it on there. Good. Looking good. And just her little. And you can make the arm as long as you want. I'll just build it down that much, and then when I cut it, I'll worry about that then. And see, I didn't squirt a lot out. I got my 1 coat on, happy with it. Gonna put my lid back on. And then you have your paint left on here if you want to use it on a different piece of paper or in your art journal for another, you know, like how we do. We just go to like where we're going to be next, and then I just kind of scribble on. Sometimes that helps me decide what I'm going to do next. Onto my brush. And then I'm going to give the hair another minute to dry, and I'm going to go over the eyes. Now I'm going to go over the eyes. I might use marker to color in her eyes. So what I'm going to do is outline her eyes in a brown so I can see. And you can use watercolor pencils or whatever you want. For me, because the way my hands work, it might just be better for me to do it this way and then go in with markers to color her eyes. And I'm just going to draw it. See? And then I'll do it over here. And then I'll draw her nose. And her lips, you can use, you know, a marker or whatever color you're going to use. I'm just doing this very... Now always remember, I'll do it down here, wipe the sides of your marker off and then the tip. So any wet paint isn't going to dry on there and make your marker not work. And I store mine with this part down. Okay, so there we got her eyes and everything. And I think I'm going to grab a marker and let's see. I'll do a blue. And I'm just going to go in and color her eyes in blue. It'll just be easier than me trying to get my blue in with my paint. And we'll just give it a second to dry and give it another coat. And then her lips. What color lips am I going to do? I need a little darker than her skin. I'm just going to go in because I'm going to trace over this with black, you know, outline everything in black so everything stands out. So that'll be good for that. And then we can put in her pupils. I hate when felt tips get those little like sticky felty things sticking out. I'll just dot them in. Okay. Very cute. And then, what color lipstick do I want her to have? What a light pink. Again, any marker will do. Your Sharpies, your, or you can use your watercolors. You can use your watercolor pencils. You can use anything, 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 anything. I'm going to use this pink. And then I'll go in later and do a little highlight in it. And trace it out. All right, so I'm going to go over, as I already stuck my markers and my, boy, I'm on a ball today. Markers and my tablet in my paint. I'm going to go back in with my paintbrush and do her hair one more time. I'm going to get most of the water off my brush because I don't want it to be watered down. I want it to be thick. Just paint like you would. Then you see, I don't know if you can see that I gave her a little bit more bangs right there. So I'm going to leave that yellow there because I went over the skin a little bit, and that way I can go over that again and it'll lighten it up a little bit. But we're kind of good with that. And I'm going to go back and draw over the eyes one more time, make them a little bit thicker to where the blue, and you can always go in and cover up, you know, with your paint, your face paint. It's starting to get. I'm going to color her eyelids in a little brown. Then I might put some little sparkle on them. Yeah, now I'm going to take my face paint and just touch up underneath these eyes a little bit. I'll show you why. I can see the blue. Let's see. See the blue underneath that a little bit, and I don't want that, so I'm just going to touch it up a little bit with a small brush. And I'm going to add a little bit of glitter in the blue of her eye too. Once I'm done, yeah, that'll make it better. Just make it more straight. And then I can go over it again with my pen and not worry. Yeah, that's good. Much better. And her one pupil needs fixed, I see. So I'm going to use a smaller one. And you can do paint with this. It doesn't have to be a marker. And then once everything dries, now to measure her outfit. This is a tad bit tricky because I did put the hand in, but it's not altogether hard, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to take, and I'm going to leave my yellow there right now because I do want to go over the bang area of her hair one more time. But while that's drying, and so I can get that last cut of the yellow on, I'm going to open up my red glitter. If you want to use a red glitter for her dress, just take a piece of paper, put your red glitter glue on it, or glue and then sprinkle red glitter on it, and then cut it out to match her dress, to match what you made her dress of. And it's as simple as that. I just happened to buy this because I didn't, they didn't have any holiday thing there at Michael's until I went to AC Moore, and then I found it. And this is like a cardboard piece. You see it's like a thicker piece. It's going to be a bitch to probably put down. But I'm going to kind of hope that I cut it kind of what I need it. I'll just start by cutting out a square like this. And knowing that it's long enough is good. So let's start this way. And it doesn't have to be perfect to what you drew. Remember that. You're just doing, because I kind of want it, this is the bottom. And I want those little dingies coming out. So I want it to kind of go, cut it like this. This is hard to cut through. And kind of give it like that. Kind of like a mermaid look. And then kind of over here. Kind of over here. So that kind of gives it there. Obviously way too thick. So I'm going to kind of cut down to here. And these little pieces are great to save, whether you make your own glitter paper, using your own glitter paper, or whatever. I just want to kind of get an idea of how far I got to cut off. So I can start up here. So if she's here, her neck is going to be right there, so I can cut about here. Very scientific. And then this I can kind of cut down into that. We're getting there. Then her hair is going to be on that, so we want like a little dippy dip. So her hair flows on it. And we can always paint on it and adjust as once we get it on her. But we're getting there. Okay, now I want that arm piece, but I'm going to cut it like that. So we got her hair. This is going to be her neck. We want this to be a little softer around her neck. And then she needs a little... It's really, you're doing it by eye. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be yours. You see what I'm saying? Like I see right here on my dress, I need to cut this like a little bit better to kind of match that. No problem. But I am getting closer, as you can see. Because she's going to be flying, so you want it to be so her arm's going to be up a little bit more, so I got to cut more of this off. And there's her neck. There's that. There's that. There's her arm. We're getting there. You'll see what I'm going to do in a second. I'm going to take this from where I cut this down. And I'm going to kind of cut it off. Put that aside for a second. I'm going to just give this a little bit more of a whirl. Going to give this a little bit more of a kind of straighter look. Oh, the glitter falls off. Beautiful. And then this is going to get stuck down. And this is going to go on her neck. See how good it's looking so far? And then what I'm going to do is paint a little black underneath, or a little blue rather, because of the sky, and then I'll round this off, and then her arm will go. Not as long, but I'll cut it to about where I had the arm on there, and then I can just paint the arm on. I don't know if you guys can, how well you can see that, but I'm going to cut it now. And I'm just going to give it a round cut, which we can always play with, you know, make it rounder or whatever. I guess it's a good thing my computer shut off. My YouTube shut off. Okay, so now let's see how we're looking here. We're looking good. There's that. That's her neck. That's going to be her arm. And her dress. And I'm just going to take that little bit of the corner off there of all of it and kind of round it a little bit just so it looks a little bit softer on her. Yep. I'm very happy. Look how good. Looking good, looking good. Awesome. So I'm not going to glue that on yet because that's going to be a little bit of a task. But what I am going to do is wipe off my glitter. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, glitter is glitter is glitter, if you know what I'm saying. I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to rinse it off. I'm going to dry it off. I'm going to go over her hair one more time, especially where I added it. Yeah, much better. And just go over it one more time because we're going to be cutting it out. If it has glitter in it, who cares? I might even sprinkle some glitter in it anyway. Now, you can use molding paste before you paint it and give her some texture in her hair. Or you can use gesso. and comb, you know, like draw through it so she has like a lines. I'm probably just going to put a few little highlights in there. Not going to be too worried about it. Especially with these more expensive paints. When you buy, not the like liquid ones, but the more thicker artist paints, they're very thick, so you can add texture just by doing this. And it just gives her a little bit of texture, and then you can kind of just draw through with your paintbrush. Give her curls, give her whatever you want. And we got that going. And I'm going to outline her lips in a little darker of a color. Give her line in the middle. Give her lips. In there. Take my brown again. And just underline. If this needs colored in a little bit more, color it in. Very, very cute. Now I'm going to, even though she needs to dry a little bit, I'm going to pull her out of here. I'm going to move this. I'm going to take my paper that I drew my eyes on and get this yellow up. I'll end up just probably throwing it away because I'm not prepared to put it on anything right this second. I'll have to wipe that off with a rag later. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, and I'm just going to go around her. I'm not going to cut her out absolute right this second because it's easier to get it down to a smaller, more doable piece. And then I'm going to grab just these little fragments that I'm not going to use for anything. But you can save them. You can definitely save them and use them. Like these pieces I'll save. Maybe I'll put like little pieces on the painting itself because then it pulls everything in. But we'll see. I don't know. Who knows? But these little pieces are just going to annoy me sitting here. But these pieces I will save and they will go in my stash buckets. And then just very carefully go in and cut around. Go in her legs. You can still see the line where her legs are, and we can always firm those up after. And if you're cutting and your dress is a little bit smaller than what the red glitter or whatever paper you choose to put on, it doesn't matter because it's gonna. You just have a guideline, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to go in the painting beautifully, so it doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to go around her little face. Smaller scissors would probably be better for this, but remember who's cutting? Me. And why make things easy for myself? Throw all these away. But you can go in with your smaller scissors and, you know, make her head you know, a little bit better, more straight and stuff. And I might do that when I'm done here. Just trying to have an idea of where everything's at so we can see our angel. I guess it's a good thing my computer shut off. I didn't realize it was going to be this long. And how boring of me just cutting things out. Who knew? All right, now all we have to do is cut the dress out right there. Cut her legs. Cut in between her legs. And then give the eyes, the legs a look. And if one's a little bigger, like this one's a little bigger up here, then I'm just going to give it a little chop. No big deal. And if you over chop, like I said, the dress is going to go there, so it's no big deal. So we have our angel so far. Let me move the garbage. And now I just have to cut out her hair ends. Which you'd probably do better by using smaller scissors, but I'm just going with it. And then I'll curse when I mess up. Now you see how I have a little bit of the yellow needs to be on the edges there. Now I can fix that or I could cut it off. It doesn't matter. I might just do it at an angle like this. And an angle like this. Just to take that extra white off so I don't have to get out my paints. And I can always take a marker if I want or when I highlight. But it kind of, you know what I mean? It kind of... And I need a little bit more off that. Okay. So far, so good. Now, let me grab my picture so we can see where we're at so far. And see how cute? Now, I'm thinking, and this is just me, for mine, does not need to be yours, because she's smaller than I wanted her this size, and I'm hating this, I might cut this part off and just make it a smaller piece, if that makes sense. Because that's just how I do things. And throw this piece away, so I'm not digging it. Okay. Makes me happier. So once I glue her down, and once I get her dress on her, I'll go over with the skin tone for her legs. You know, which I could probably do while I glue down. Let me glue down. Let me glue her down, shall I say. She's still a little wet. As I said, sometimes things don't end up the way I start them. Never be afraid to do something like that, because you might be, you know, I didn't want to have this big, long angel. I wanted her to be pretty and petite and cute and everything. So I'm just going to take, you can use Elmer's glue with a little bit of water. You can use, oh, I want to fix her little face a little bit. Her face needs to be a little bit rounder. You can take whatever you have. To glue, that you normally glue, a glue stick, whatever. We're not going for perfection. We're going for beauty, like just cute. Cute, cute. Now, I want her to go this way. So I know her hair is still wet. I'm not going to worry too much about it when I put it down on my mat here. And my brush apparently still has yellow in it. But I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to get my glue. Oh, that's quite a bit of glue there, Kel. I'm just going to get my, whatever glue you're using, glue sticks just as good. Mod Podge, white school glue, whatever your heart desires, whatever you have on hand. Like I always say, everything works. Whatever will glue anything down. Okay, so piece of dog and hair in there never hurt nobody. Just make sure it's something that dries clear, which all those items that I just described do. Now, let's lay her down. I think I'm going to lay her like kind of like she's like shooting up in the sky. And I know she's still wet, but I'm not going to worry about it. I know her hair's still wet. And I can hit it with the glue gun, the heat gun if I want. But my fingers will just add some texture. Just watch her little face. Use a different finger when pushing her face down. And hold it, if you see it popping up anywhere, and you did do the glue good on her, just hold it for a second. And look how cute so far. I'm so excited. So excited. Look at how cute. How freaking cute. Okay. I get excited. Sorry. So, her dress is going to go like this. And touching up everything at the end, with colors and all, is not going to be an issue. So we see how we have it. It's up at her neck. It's covering everything. Her arm, we can do. If you don't want it to cover her hair as much, you can move it down more. Doesn't matter. As long as it's on her neck. And look how cute so far. So let's get that bad boy on there. Again, that's Kel. That's a lot of gel medium you got going on there. Very heavy touch I have today. So always put it on your product that you're gluing down, I believe. If you know exactly where if you have it really mapped out well and you know where you're going to put it down, you can put your glue down on there too. So it's on both. I'm not that good nor that organized, so I just like to smear it on my thing that I'm going to glue down. Make sure you get those corners and edges real good, especially on these heavier cardstocks. And then let's lay it down. And you're just going to hold it for a second. Any white showing through, I can see my white papers thrown. I can take a red marker and go around it, or red glitter or whatever. I'm not worrying about it. Because we're going to add a few more things on here once we get her on there and done and glued. And she's done. Now I might need a little bit more glue on this, seems like. Looking good. And then her little arm, which is like rounded up here. coming down here. Okay, so I'm going to take, darker, that marker's not dark enough. I'll do this one. I'm going to take any kind of marker you have or paint and paint in between here. Just a little bit. Because if anything shows, it'll just look like the sky is showing through. Because we have that blue there. Or paint color, whatever color you have there. Whatever color the paint is. And it just helps. Like even like down here, I can see like where a little bit of my red, you know, didn't cover the glitter. But if I put that outline, it should, you know, it goes, it covers it. And then it looks like it's just the sky. And rub it with your finger down there. If you rub it with your finger, even here, well, that's more on paper, so that's not going to do. But even like on your, if you do this, like let's say we do over here a little bit, rub it with your finger and it blends in and it's awesome. Even though it's a permanent marker, you won't know. Nobody will know, but you did the secret. Yes, the secret. And then I'm just going to glue my arm with my glue real good. Remember, it's a thicker paper, so you want to make sure you really glue it. And make sure you clean up your mat when you're done, because otherwise you'll be sticking to it for weeks. And then just go ahead and glue on your hand. And if you want it to touch with just the ever bit of, which is what I'm going to do, and I'll show you up close on the camera. I want that to be a little closer. I gotta wipe off my gluey fingers that I touched on my red glitter. I'll do that after with. Come on now, stick for me. Hold it down. And see, she has her little arm. And we'll put some red glitter glue around it so it kind of looks more like her outfit. And if it's lifting up, because I lifted it up actually, just put some more glitter glue on. Because there's no mistakes, because like I said, we can go around this with our red glitter glue or some glue and put red glitter or another color that you want to go around it, and it's going to look good. Okay. So far, so good. Now I'm just going to leave this alone and leave it dry and give you guys a break since I've been on here forever. Pull off my ickies. And the next one we'll do, the only thing I'm going to do off camera before we start again, and it's nothing that you're going to, I mean, I've already kind of done it, but I'm just going to touch up her, like her neck. There's a little bit that needs a little bit of, more paint, and give her a little rosy cheeks, and you know, I'll probably draw her hand on. I'll probably wait till the glue dries though, because it's still a little damp. You know, just do a little of the flesh color paint that I used on her, you know, just so she has like a little hand there. And then maybe give her a little like a little ballet shoe, maybe even cut it out of my sparkly red and then give her a little ballet shoe to match. And then we're going to be doing a few more things on the background. And she's the cutest little thing. Cute, cute, cute. Like I said, for beginners, this is awesome. Very simple, very simplistic. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, those are the few things I'm going to do before the next video, because you don't need to see me, you know, touch up a neck, you know, I mean, or the leg or stuff like that. You guys can do that on your own too. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. We are going to do a little red in her cheeks because I think that's cute. And I'm thinking about doing a crown on her. I haven't quite decided. But I'm loving on her. I'm loving on her. And I might. I don't know. I don't know. I got to think. Because like I said, I'll say it and then I won't do it because I'll come up with something else. So far, I'm loving her. Like I said, for a beginner's thing, for a cardboard thing. I mean, how can you go wrong? How cute is this? Once she gets highlights in her hair and her little eyes, you know, I like putting little whites in her eyes, and she gets, you know, fixed up a little bit more and touched up and a little jazzy and the little things. And, you know, she's looking pretty dang good. So I'm very excited. Very excited. And I hope you guys are too. Like I said, these beginner mixed media things that we're doing, you know, are awesome. And I'm trying to keep them as simple and simplistic as I can for those who don't have a lot of items at home to use. So, and if you do have a lot of items, good for you, and use them. But so we're gonna continue on with our little mixed media friend, and see what else we can do. Probably one more video and we'll be done. So that's not too bad. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up so I know. So if you guys don't enjoy it, I won't continue doing these. But please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment on what you think and what you think I should do next. And if you're doing it and how you're making out. I love to see pictures, as you know, so friend me on Facebook. All the info will be down in the description box or on my About page. And so let me know what you're doing and if you're doing it or what I should add next. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to go in and we're going to do a little outline so we know that's the arm and it just doesn't look like it's, you know, like this weird piece. And we're going to just maybe give her a little necklace. Who knows? I don't know. But we're going to play. So let me know what you think. And if you like this video and would like to see more of these cheap recycled, you know, items, give me a thumbs up. And also, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. I know I have a bunch of questions to answer, which maybe I'll do a video later on. But, yeah. So, our little whimsical Christmas art girl, almost done. Got a few more things to do to make her fancified. And I hope you guys do enjoy it and are doing it. Be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.